with the way you guys made it uncomfortable for him today with just a variety of different guys.
Yeah, he is an electrifyingly unique player. He catches your attention, So we probably had the benefit of watching him do what he can do. He's also done that to us. So you're a little bit on edge, and that's born out of respect, for how capable he can be. And to be fair, look, that is a quick turnaround, to have a very emotional game like that on Friday night. And then all of a sudden you have a 1 o'clock game on Sunday we will take it, but that is something, but our guys really worked diligently this week, just trying to get into shape, get into rhythm, like work hard to keep our edge, the things that, we've really built a lot of great habits, and we finished the regular season, on the right note, just in terms of keeping that edge. And, this week we really went to work just to, sharpen that sword. But it's just one game. And our vets, experienced guys understand that each game is different. It doesn't matter how much you win by, the next game can be different.
Spo, you had said all week that PJ was letting you know he was going to be ready no matter what. How did you like just how he came back from the injury and everything he brought today?
Yeah, he's just such a winning player. He does so many intangibles. He's your best communicator. He brings this incredible toughness and intensity defensively. He was, like our linebacker, really just getting everybody to the right spots, and he holds everybody accountable. He's super unique too, because he takes ownership, if he feels like he didn't do something right. And so that's why we all follow him. Whatever he says is the truth, because he does it both ways. He's not just barking at guys. He's also very introspective and vulnerable about his own game. But it was great to have him back out here. I think the week was really important for him. He was around the clock, in the training room, doing what needed to do. And even by the time we got to Wednesday, it was supposed to just be kind of a training room day and do some work on the side, but he forced his way into practice just for, some segments of it. It just shows you, how much he wants to be here for his guys, and what he's willing to do behind the scenes to make sure he's physically ready.
Erik, we had seen, I think just last Friday, Caleb is sort of the tray stopper. You went away from that a little. Jimmy took the second assignment, obviously. What went into sort of that thought process to go this way with this rotation, put Jimmy on him a little more?
This is the way we went tonight, but look, we're so far past the 9-man rotation. That's what it was tonight. It's all hands on deck, whatever's required. Caleb is fully on our minds at any time. That's just the way it played out tonight. But he is, one of our most important players. So he'll have an impact at some point.
Erik, two things. I don't remember too many games at least, where we would see you even in defensive position at times on the sidelines, if you were just like willing it yourself in some stretches.
Was that? I've really been trying to work on that.
You were, it was good. Palms up. It was very.
That happened in a head coach's meeting like 5 years ago. I was on the court. They're showing such an old clip. I'm like, that happened a decade ago against OKC, where I guess I was out on the court. I've gotten a lot better than that. Show my progress, please.
You regressed maybe a little, but I guess just how. I mean, is that just a sign of just what it demands against not just that player, but against that team with that many shooters? Just the intensity.
You better be on edge. You have to be on edge. Not me, but out there, because that team can really score in bunches. Obviously, Trae Young can just ignite at any point. So if you relax at any point, all of a sudden he hits a couple that can turn into a lot more. And you have to respect that. And our guys have that respect, but even with the respect, even with the urgency, even with being on edge, he's still capable. And That's why we'll have to just be ready, for game 2 and somehow just erase this memory, and keep that edge.
And one follow, the job Duncan did. I mean, he looked vintage again. Is that just a byproduct of a week of work and clearing his head, or did you guys have a sense that Duncan was getting close again?
Yeah,
to coming
it's one
back
of the
around?
things that I really disliked about making that decision, because I knew, like, on the outside, people would be jumping to a bunch of different conclusions. In my mind, Duncan was still going to be a major factor. I don't have to explain it. But he's had like some incredible, moments, while nobody's paying attention or focusing on the wrong thing, about who's starting or who's not, like rotate, like whatever. I don't even care, but he's had those ignitable moments where he can just change a quarter, hits 1 or 2, then all of a sudden he feels like he hits 6. So I understand all the narratives out there. That's the tough part about this business. But Duncan is very steady, and he understands that even though he's coming off the bench, that he still has a major opportunity to impact the game, and he's able to do that tonight.
So I guess 2 things, playing off that, having Duncan part of your program and prepping for the Hawks, and I guess you probably prep for different scenarios, not knowing who exactly the opponent was going to be. Did he ever play dummy Trey in practice?
Duncan, he can't do any of that stuff. No, he did not.
Okay.
Not even for a second.
Okay.
No, he does not have that kind of handle. Or it's totally different players.
So
But in his
ignitable,
own
right.
regard, he's extremely ignitable and dangerous. He can generate a lot of offense for us, whether he's making shots or not. That's the part that nobody understands, but I don't really care to explain that. But you just try to work on, regardless of who your matchup is in the playoffs, you're going to be facing a great player that's going to require schemes, and you're going to have to be very disciplined. You're going to have to have a lot of reps with that, and that's what we just focused on this week. We knew it was going to be a great player and a great, potentially a great offense that you have to prepare for. This team can score. Like, this is not indicative of who this team has been the last 2 months, and that's, our veteran guys understand that. You got to put this behind us and get to work tomorrow with that same level of respect, knowing what this team can do.
All right, so a question about one specific play. Lowry had a strip on Young at the 3-point line extended, leads to a run out. Seemed like he had Hunter beat. He probably could have gotten a score himself, but he pitches it back for Struess for a dunk. Those type of plays, what can that do for a group that blatant unselfishness?
Yeah, Kyle is really he's driven that all year long. It's really inspiring when you see somebody like that. That's such a decorated, veteran, accomplished player, and he literally does not care about his stats. Neither does Jimmy. They could go, and score 10 points as long as we get the win. That's a cliche in this league that most players do not. They may say that, but that's not how they're thinking, or how they're operating on the court. And Kyle's done that time after time. He's did that for weeks and months of the season, just trying to infuse confidence in guys, get guys going, with the understanding that people may translate that at his age, saying, "Oh, has he lost this or that?" Whatever the BS that people may say. He's just trying to develop this group, particularly the young guys, where they have a lot more confidence, to be able to be prepared for this time of year. But then he's also proven that when you really need him to be assertive and aggressive, he can also score.
Spo, 2 things. One on Bam, and just since he hadn't played in a while, how did you kind of manage that today? And then secondly, just his impact defensively, despite not really having a great scoring output today, and just what he brings there.
SHIT about his scoring. Bam is an ultimate winner. And a lot of what you guys are probably going to write about what we can do defensively, he's the one that's driving it. If you don't have a guy like Bam, it's very difficult to do, some of these schemes. And he fully understands that. It's just about getting the win.
Another one on the defense. How much of we've talked about this in the past, but how much of a defensive weapon has Gabe become, where you could put him out there
Yeah.
to guard a guy like Trey full court and pick him up
Yeah,
for
or
extended
guard
stretch.
other guys. Yeah, he's developed this now for 2.5 years. To be that kind of player, impact player. Really be a pest defensively, guards multiple positions. I know he doesn't have like a inordinate amount of playoff experience, but he's not also 18 years old. Like he's got a lot of competitive basketball and competitive games, pro games, and 2 years of experience in our system. He's earned these opportunities.
Erik, 35 assists on 43 field goals. Do you get a sense during a game that the ball is moving the way you want? Because there have been times this year, maybe in the fourth, where it slowed down a little bit. You didn't have those moments today, but just from beginning to end, it was moving. What did you feel about your players' demeanor? in
Yeah,
that regard?
this is something that we've really been working on all year long. And you'll always go through, there's ebbs and flows where it's not going exactly how you want it to. And we hit that apex of that a month ago, but we had been doing it very well for the majority of the season. Sometimes you need to catch yourself and get back to that. That's the strength of our team, where you're not necessarily sure, where the main weapons are going to come from, but there's a lot of guys on our roster that can hurt you. But there has to be a level of unselfishness to be able to take advantage of all that. Okay, thank you.